There's a nice creamy coleslaw all done. That is 1 cabbage, 1 small cabbage, 1 carrot, 1/4 of a small red onion, 1 cup of mayonnaise, and 1/2 cup of brown sugar, or if you use white sugar, you can use that too. A teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of black pepper. You just dump everything all in there together, and you mix it, and you got a nice creamy coleslaw. And this is going to be served with some fried rice and some fried fish. Okay, everything's fried today. This is Sunday dinner. So the next time you see this coleslaw, it's going to be on a plate with some fish, some fried rice, and probably some kind of bread maybe, or maybe not. But remember now, this coleslaw, I'd already cut it up in my Ninja. As you can see, I've already used the Ninja, cut it up, and put it in my bowl here and just mix it all together. So I'm sure by now everybody is seeing how I've used my Ninja. So in the interest of time, I just cut the cabbage up, washed it, cut it into about 8 pieces, and then I just put it as it would fit into the Ninja. Grind it up real good. Put that carrot in there, the onion, and then when I got it all done, put it in my bowl, and then I mix it all together. This made for a nice creamy coleslaw. So remember now, just mix it, put it in the refrigerator, let it chill, and it'll be ready to serve with the meal. And just remember one thing about coleslaw: it makes a lot, because as you can see now, this is an 8-cup container, and I only use a small head of cabbage. So this coleslaw will go a long way, because coleslaw is not one of those dishes that you eat a big pile of. You eat it to enhance other things. So we're enhancing the fish today with this coleslaw. So just remember, this is enough coleslaw with 1 small head of cabbage, 1 medium carrot, and 1/4 of an onion, and the 1/2 cup of sugar. And yeah, I did put a cap full of vinegar in there. So that small head of cabbage is going a long way. And just remember, this is not something that you're going to eat a whole lot of. It's used to enhance. And I would say you could feed probably 10 people, seriously, because this is 8 cups of coleslaw in this container. Now, again, my family eats lots, so it probably won't get past 6-7 people. But the point is, under normal circumstances, a small head of cabbage will go a long way. So you know, if you need a big pile of coleslaw, you need to use twice as much cabbage, and it's just double the recipe. So if you're thinking about some of this for 4th of July, it'll be a great side dish to go along with those good old savory ribs and hamburgers and hot dogs and pork chops and chicken and all that other good stuff. But coleslaw is one of those enhancing things. You can use it on hot dogs, or you can just eat it, like I say, on a side dish, like with fish, some creamed potatoes, some rice, or whatever. But coleslaw is just one of those staple things that I've grown up with all of my life. I don't know if y'all remember chitlins, but of course, if you had chitlins, you had to have coleslaw. So go ahead and try this recipe. It's real simple, it's quick, and it's very good. And remember, after you get it all made up, just slide it in the refrigerator, let it chill for a little while until you get ready to serve it. So for now, toodaloo. Okay, now we're back. This is the fish that I've purchased to fix for Sunday dinner. So along with that coleslaw that we just talked about, we're going to do some fried fish. And what I've done, I've cut these fish into smaller portions because they're easier to handle in the skillet. This is some filleted whiting fish. I bought a 4-pound bag of it from Sam's Club, and I'm sorry, not Sam's Club, but from Walmart. And this is a 4-pound bag, so I think I paid $12 for it. Not a bad price. And what I've got on here to season the fish is some lemon pepper seasoning and a little bit of garlic flavored sea salt, and that's it. What I've done is I've cut it, I've patted it dry first to get some of the water out of it, turned the flesh side up and seasoned it first, and of course I flipped it over and seasoned the other side. And it's been probably sitting for maybe about 20-30 minutes. It doesn't have to sit that long, because as you know, fish is very porous, and that seasoning will just go right through it. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to batter it in just some regular cornmeal. This right here is Martha White yellow cornmeal mix. This will do, or you could use a fish breader. Fish breader has some extra salt in it and that extra seasoning, but since I've seasoned mine so much, I won't need that seafood breader. And besides, the yellow cornmeal mix is a lot cheaper. So I'm going to be frying it up in a few minutes. And I'm going to just go back over here on the stove because you know I cook and do everything off of my stove. I've got some fish already ready to show you how I'm going to batter it up. But before we do, those nice hush puppies, I give credit to going downtown and getting those. So Cookout, it's a little fast food place. They make the best hush puppies besides mine. So since I didn't want to go to all that trouble today, because I've got to do lots of cooking tomorrow, starting for the 4th of July. So we got some nice homemade hush puppies, compliments of Cookout. How about that? Okay, we're just going to come across here. And as you know, I'm on the stove now. That's my fish platter that I'm going to be putting the fish on. Got my skillet already. And as you can see, I've got the fish over here. Now this little gadget here is just real handy. I'm going to try and show it to you. Okay, in the bottom I've got the cornmeal. I'm just so excited about it. This is one of the best little gadgets I've bought lately. Put the fish on top of there, and I'm going to put the lid on top of there, and I'm going to shake it up, and it's going to batter that fish really good. I can thank my husband for this because he was the person that loved every gadget that was ever made. So now I'm more sensitive to looking out for these kind of things because it does actually make it easier for you to batter fish, or you can do chicken. Anything that you need to batter, you can get it and put it in this little container here and just shake it up, and that's what I'm going to do. And again, I got one hand going here, so hope I don't make a mess. So you just have to secure the lid, and I'm just going to turn it upside down. See how the meal goes to the top of the container? I already got my grease over here in the pan. I'll tell you about that in a minute. I'm just going to turn it over again. I'm working with one hand here. So I'm going to turn it back over. I need to do it a couple more times. You don't have to. And you know what? Also, it helps you to save on your meal too, or your bread. Or you don't have to use as much because it's in that open container. So I'm just going to sort of give it a couple of shakes in there. I'm going to flip it. And the reason I'm going through all this is I want to show you how you need to put that fish into the pan. So I've kind of got everything topsy-turvy in there. So everything's all battered up, and as you can see, it's battered up pretty good. Okay, so now this is one real important thing, and if you already know it, then wonderful, but if you don't, this is one thing to know. When you're frying fish, always place your fish into your grease flesh side up, which means, you know, the side of the skin will be looking at you. The flesh side will be down into the grease, because what happens, the skin on that fish, once it hits that hot grease, it'll start to curl up, and you don't want it to curl up before it fries on the flesh side. Okay, so I've got this nice hot pan, my trusted cast iron skillet here. I've got you can probably tell it's probably halfway, maybe not quite halfway, but about a third of the way filled with some olive oil. Now I cook with olive oil when I fry food because, you know, we don't fry a lot, but you can use corn oil, canola oil, whatever you choose. But I like olive oil. I like the way it tastes, and it's supposed to be a little bit healthier than regular oil. I don't know if you can see that grease moving around. So that means that that grease is ready to use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what happens to this fish and why you have to put it flesh down. See how it starts to fry there? Now if I had put it on the back side, it would be curled up by now. So we're just going to go ahead and get it going here in the pan. And be careful with your fingers. Now my fingers are, you know, seasoned and probably halfway cooked up, and I probably don't even have fingerprints no more. But just be careful when you're putting that fish in the pan. And see, when you put it in there and it's doing that, you know you got that heat just right. So pretty much throughout, I can let my fish cook just like that the entire way through. And when it gets, so probably in about 5 minutes, it's going to be a golden brown color. I'm just going to turn it over on that skin side, and let it fry probably another 3 or 4 minutes, because now listen to this. Fish is thin, so it doesn't have to fry so long, okay? This is called pan frying, so the whole piece of fish is not down in that grease, so I have to flip it. Now, if I was frying it in a deep fryer, you just put it in there, cook it 2 or 3 minutes, and it's done. But I'm pan frying. I didn't want to drag out that deep fryer today, and I don't have a whole lot of fish to fry, so I'm going to go ahead and get this fish fried up, and I'm going to show you what it looks like when I get it served up on my serving dish, okay? And the other thing, again, I told you I'm going to do fried rice. Got my skillet back there. You've got my fried rice recipe. I'm going to use that same identical recipe to make that fried rice. It's going to be, for this dish, I'm using 3 cups of fried rice. Because my family's coming to eat, and they eat a lot. It's going to be about 6 or 7 of us, so we need this big old pan full of fried rice. So I'm going to use 3 cups of uncooked rice, and I'm going to chop about 2 cups of vegetables, which include onions, bell pepper, celery, and carrots. So all that mixed together, we're going to have our fried rice going. So when you see this food again, like I said, Lady T and Tony is going to have it on their plate, and they're going to be eating. They're going to be over on the flavor train. So let me go and get this stuff ready, so when the train pulls in, I'll be ready to put it on so they can get going. So for now, toodaloo. Okay, we're back. Just to let you see how the fish is progressing along, I've turned it. It's got to fry about another 2 or 3 minutes on this side. I'm going to take it out. I'll drain it. Now remember, when you take it out, put it on a paper towel to drain it before you serve it, so you can drain off the excess grease. And also, as you're taking it out of the pan, sort of hold it up a little bit with your, well, I use these little things here, these little tongs. Just sort of hold it up out of the grease like that, and let that grease sort of drip like that before you put it onto the paper towel, so most of that grease will drain out. But you see how it fries up nicely on the flesh side? It's nice and smooth and flat. So when you fry it on the flesh, on the skin side, it doesn't curl up on you. But if I had started out on the skin side, it will curl. So if that's happened to you, that's why I always start it flesh side down. Okay? So I'm going to go out a little bit and just let this continue to fry. For the amount of fish that I'm frying, because I'm cooking for probably 7, I'm going to do like 3 cans of this fish. So we need about 25-30 pieces so everybody can eat as much as they want. So for right now, I'm going to sign off one more time. Okay, it's all done. We get ready to sit down and eat it here in a few minutes. The fish is all fried up. Got that Texas Pete ready. Hush puppy. That good old creamy coleslaw. Some fried rice. You already got that recipe. All you got to do is fry it up, serve it up, and we're ready to sit down to the table, put it on the plates. Now, the next time you see this meal, it's going to be on the plate, and Lady T and Tony are going to be eating it up and talking about it. Okay, signing off for now. Toodaloo. Look who's visiting today, too. This is my little helper. Say hey to the camera, Norik. He's helping me out more than you know. Okay, so we're signing off for now. Ready to eat Sunday dinner on the flavor train.